Greetings and welcome to Die Drug and Die presents the Grimstone Chronicles episode 14. I am your host and quasi-DM tonight, joined by Mark and Adam, two-thirds of our Ontario crew. How is everyone doing on this fine, whatever day it is, Sunday? Is it Sunday?
It's Sunday.
It is
yes,
Sunday.
It is Sunday.
I don't know. I have lost
Your
track
calendar has not lied to you.
It has lost all meaning. My 4-day weekend is... all the days are blurring together.
I ate chicken. It was awesome. I mowed my lawn. It was successful. My lawn was more full than my hair, which was good. I know how Marty loves the lawn talk. The lawn talk is just his favorite.
Yep. Yep, one day. One day I'll talk about my lawn and you guys will be like, oh, we've been there, done that, Marty.
I rewatched Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, and I enjoyed it. It's not very good, but Ghost Rider's awesome. And if you like Nicolas Cage, and I like Nicolas Cage, shut up.
No, I do too. He's great. Yeah, he is a great
I
actor.
like him in some things, but like this is Ghost Rider 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got. I didn't remember it had Idris Elba in it. So Idris Elba was in a Marvel movie before he was playing Heimdall.
Huh.
He's played the drunk priest.
I watched it. I went to the theaters to go see that.
Oh, that was a mistake.
I fell asleep in the theater. Then I watched it at home one day, thinking, oh, maybe I was just tired that day, and I was watching. I'm like, it's not his best work.
When he infuses the giant European digger monster thing,
okay, that was
with
pretty
Hellfire,
cool. That was cool. That was cool.
And then the demon of rot or the demon of decay, the joke with the Twinkie, that I found that fun. Where he tries to eat the sandwich and it rots.
Yes,
he tries to eat the apple and it rots, and then he tries to eat the Twinkie and it doesn't rot, and he's like, ah, and he eats the Twinkie.
Yeah,
because the demon of rot, everything he touches rots.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Marty's looking at me like I'm nuts.
Yep. Okay, Mark.
Twinkie joke.
How was work, man? I have no idea what Adam's talking about. Lawns and Ghost Rider. It's like I don't have the energy for that.
Work is fine.
Yep.
Yep. I got no complaints. So.
Cool.
Wow.
All I got for you, sorry.
I started playing Divinity Original Sin, the first one, again. I started a couple days ago, realized I made my characters wrong because it had been so long. So I restarted the game and made them properly. Because I'm like, I really needed to have perception. Because I can't see any of these traps. And these traps are ruthless. They are, oh, you stepped on the beach, you blew up. It's like, oh, yeah. Oh, God.
I did something similar. I got with Divinity 2 for the PS4. And I was like, thought I'd get all creative with, I can make my own guy. And then, no, like I got through the first chapter. And then there's this fight. I'm like, I just can't win. I can't. Like, it's been 30 times and I get my ass whooped every time. I do not have what it takes to beat this section.
Yep. It is a very, very ruthless game. It doesn't care if you build your characters wrong. and there's like,
you have 40 hours in, that's too bad. Start over.
And because of the flexibility, it's like, I'll dabble in a little here. No, you pick 2 or 3 things to be good at, and you're good at those 3 things. And if you need to be good at something else, you've got 4 people in your party. Build the 4 specialists is basically how it goes. Right now I've got, as my 2 mains, I made the mistake of trying to make a rogue that is an archer. Instead I made an archer that is a rogue. It means something. It means something. It also means you start the fucking game with a bow that way instead of a dagger. I was like, what the fuck? Those first few fights, man. And then I've got a mage who is fire and earth, and then I'll pick up the water and air guy. And then the 4th person that we recruit is basically the melee tank woman. She'll just stand in front until we don't need someone to stand in front anymore. Until the two wizards can kind of go, nope, there's no strategy anymore. We just nuke everything.
I disagree with the concept of not needing a tank. There should
No.
always be a tank.
There will be a tank, and then you'll get attached to them, and they'll just always be a tank. Because I don't know what you would replace it with if you've already got your archer kind of sneak thief. Like, there's nothing to, I don't know. Anyways, maybe she dies. You know, maybe that's the thing. Go find a new grunk. I'm very early in the game. Like, we're level 3, almost 4 kind of thing. But
how's your Conan Exile?
I haven't got back to it because I want to go back, and I have some more training to do to actually play the game properly, and then I need to go and introduce myself to this whole RP server, like the people there. And we've been playing D&D 3 times a week, so there's no real time to
Learn a game?
to learn a new game. Yep. It is on the back burner for now. Okay, why don't we do a recap of what happened last game. Last game, game 13, was called Grab Bag of Fate. The party tracks down the giant zombies to a hillside cave. Dee Dee spies upon the cave, which is a buried cloud giant tomb, being unearthed by an atomie necromancer. The party ambushes the necromancer and one of the remaining giant zombies. Later, the party finds a Fey lady, a reclusive young Norn living in a lakeside cabin. One by one, the Norn tells the fortunes for the party members. The party later tries to convince the Norn to come live in the Old Stacks neighborhood of Foundry. As they turn to leave the cabin, the party receives a sending from Dugganschmirf. And I think that is where we're going to back up a little bit, as Dugganschmirf, who had stayed behind, is going to have some interactions with, with the Fey that he has made a deal with, and particularly,
please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me.
In particular, Mulberry Nighthorn, then Mark will have to word the sending that he sends to the party based off of what happens, and then I'm going to ask Adam to take the stick for a brief moment to fill in Amadeus with what his fortune was with the Norn lady. So I think that'll be the first bit of adventure. I'm going to go to the conversation layer. Dugganschmirf, while your party has been out to go and procure I actually don't know how much Duggan knows about this, about the start of the adventure. It seemed very, very loosey-goosey. Like, go get the lady and make sure no one else gets her. Kind of want to ask Adam, who...
we're recovering the lost connection.
Hey, Drake.
From my end.
Do you remember the hook of the adventure, Mark? Because you made it, right? Like,
yeah, it was go get the lady, and no one else can get her.
All right.
If she doesn't want to come with you, kill her.
Okay, so there was an edge to this. There was, like, make sure no one else gets her kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Duggan, you've been hanging around the Sylvan Acres. You've been invited to check in daily at the Sylvan Acres.
Invited to check in daily,
Yes.
or
Yes.
If you'd like, stop by.
No. They want you to check in daily.
Okay.
Are you staying in Sylvan Acres, or are you going to go back and forth between your neighborhood and...
He'll go back and forth. He's just going to assume if I'm checking in, I guess I better know what's going on in my area.
Okay. You do see that there are some Fey patrols, although their numbers have somewhat been reduced. Mulberry has told you that he's got more eyes now than hooves on the ground.
Okay.
Don't worry, we're still protecting your neighborhood.
Okay.
but I can't do that at the expense of other things. Duggan goes back and forth. He's a little nervous, and he gets yeah, your friends aren't there. So the Steel Rose mill is empty. Wasan's a big lizard in the basement.
For all he knows, he sent them on a suicide mission so he can go, okay, and now it's mine.
Yeah, how is Duggan spending his time?
He is trying to make sure that things are running as smoothly as possible so they have no excuse to gouge out his eyes or cut his wings off or something awful like that.
Okay. It isn't that you guys really particularly do anything. Like you're not producing anything. It seems to be a lot of business as normal. It is the summer. Trade has picked up a little bit, almost like your presence and the presence of the Fey and the money that you guys have injected into the economy, into the local stores, has brought other people. It's noticeably different than before. It could be because it's summer. It is warm. The weather's been quite fair. However, there is a noticeable amount of foot traffic where there wasn't in the previous years that you've lived in the old stacks.
Okay, well, that's a good.
It is a good thing. There's the usual like ruckus or an argument or maybe even a sneak a pinch that had stolen something, and like you don't feel that you have a lot of muscle to go and solve all of these problems on your own. It's just sort of the regular sort of chaos that happens in human markets. It's not like a rash of stealings. It's just a few things that you notice. It's just kind of like, yeah, I really need people.
Welcome to Southwall.
right. To have this be a perfect orderly place, which you're not too sure if you want, you'd have to have a lot more members patrolling.
We don't want that. No.
Your small gang of bruisers and specialists are not the eyes on every corner that you may need to run this neighborhood effectively. You suspect, however, that Mulberry has eyes where he needs them.
Okay.
About 3 or 4 days of checking in, you actually don't get to see Mulberry. It's just when you arrive at the Sylvan Acres, like as long as you're visible and presenting yourself, you're told basically to check in tomorrow. About the second or third day, there's no word yet. Check in tomorrow.
Okay.
It's about it's almost like a full 3 days. The party got to the cabin, what, like 4 or 5 days? Adam?
Yes. It was 3-4 days.
3-4 days, and then they spent a few days fucking around at the cave.
It'll be about 10 days to get them back.
Yeah, okay. So it's about 4 to 5 days since you've sent them out. The days have kind of ticked by. You would have almost considered this a really nice, relaxing time if it wasn't for the fact that your friends are all gone. Does Duggan feel nervous for his friends' safety?
Yes, but there's also like a selfish part of him going, because if they don't come back, I'm in the same situation I was in like 3 months ago. I was on my own.
Okay, assuming you continue to check in, it was on the 4th check-in that you're told to wait.
Okay then.
There's this really harsh, like whispery voice. You're pretty sure it's a pixie by its size. It hasn't shown itself to you, which is rather rude.
He'll see you now.
Who the fuck said that? It's fucking rude,
There's a bit of a laugh to that. You get the sense that there's invisible creatures moving around the front door to Mulberry's office, where there's an ogre. It's a different ogre this day. He's got 2.
Okay. Has there been a noticeable increase in the Fey you can see that are affiliated?
No, the Sylvan Acres are busy. There are lots of people. There are a lot of Fey families that live there. A lot of like just sort of normal daily life kind of stuff that goes on. Mulberry basically has his office in like there's a little keep on a hill. You know where that the dragonborn, the silver dragonborn that Cog and
Yes.
Agony trained with lives in that little castle. But the castle at the bottom of the hill, it's kind of like an old gate fort, is where Yep. Adam, how's it going? You're muted.
I'll unmute myself. How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I just get off a shift and then come home and play D&D.
About to put the screws to...
Sorry, it's my wife. There's someone at the door.
It's fine. Just sick the dog and the cat on them.
Well, it's the dog you're hearing right now.
Consider him sick.
All right, Mulberry's at his desk, which is propped up higher than the surrounding room. The room is shadowy. You get the sense that there are maybe several creatures of small size flittering around in the kind of dim light of the vaulted ceiling. You heard some Fey whispering. You can give me a perception check, DC 25, to hear the whispering.
Just gonna double check my perceptions. 6 or 7. It's not great. Well, let's just see what I roll first. No, I don't
Okay.
hear regardless.
It was Sylvan. It was a short sentence or two. Mulberry responds to that and just sort of nods, and he pushes some paper around, and then he looks down at Dugganschmirf, who has entered the room. Duggan, what a pleasant surprise. He's lying. He knew you were coming.
Yeah, surprise! I just show up every fucking day.
He waves his hand. You actually hear spell casting, and the door closes. The spell casting came from somewhere above his head.
Okay.
I must say I'm impressed with your companions.
Is that so? And what have they done that's so impressive?
One of the traits of a good leader is to pick those that are loyal, to pick those who are competent, to pick those that you trust enough to be your right and your left arm.
Yeah.
Because in this world, run by the humans, he smiles, his little like twinkle of mischievousness in his eye. The actions of your followers sometimes reflect directly upon their leader.
Yep, keenly aware of that one.
You have to choose wisely, or more importantly, he pulls open a drawer. He rustles it around. Choose the right tool for the job. He just takes out a pen, scritches something on a piece of paper.
I guarantee there's a gun and a wand of, like, El Kabumo in that.
The drawer is open, but you can't see because you're kind of floating down below what is in there, but he is writing with his pen. I assume you are familiar enough with your companions to know what sort of tools they are.
Aye, Slake's your hammer. Dee Dee's your velvet glove. And you got a few in between.
He sort of like was just passively listening at Slake, but he did kind of give a at Dee Dee. His eyes narrowed slightly.
Okay, noticed.
I'm impressed with what you have managed to do, and I'm also impressed that you came to me without making war against the Syndicate and other neighborhoods, without really knowing what you are getting yourself into. I'm sure you have some questions. Now would be the time to ask.
Well, let's start with, what are my companions?
They're on the mission that you sent them on.
I think it's more accurate to say that on the mission you sent them on.
Well, orders come down through the hierarchy. I know it's a strange thing to say, but in order for us to survive, we have to keep order. It's a different sort of keeping order, you see.
I get it. Just enough to stay out of sight of the humans.
With the fall of the Seelie and the Unseelie court, you could only imagine the chaos amongst the Fey. We Briars help manage that chaos.
Now, is this the first time he's admitted to being a Briar?
Yep.
Okay. Noted.
If we were all allowed to have our own thoughts and our own actions upon those thoughts about what should be done about Imperium and the Syndicate and about the state of the world, you could only imagine the response from the Imperials. My grandfather told me of a time when they piled wings and horns and hoofs of Fey in great mounds. They would go on great Fey hunts that would make the Tane shiver. They still have arsenals, you know, the Imperials. Arsenals from that time, filled with all manner of cold iron and bane magics.
Well, given a number of us, we'd still pose a threat if we tried to raise up against them. So yeah, I believe that.
So, the last Fey Lord, in his wisdom, implored all the Fey to work on behalf of the Imperium. Did you know the last Fey Lord had an Unseelie in his court?
No, I can't say that I knew that.
Like all good kings and rulers, they have their marshals and their justicars and their historians and their bards and their courtly women and their generals. But he also had a Fey who could get things done. Grandfather Briar was that Fey.
Does that name mean anything to me? Oh.
Knowledge local? Knowledge nature, maybe?
Knowledge,
Happy Briar.
Knowledge local. 12.
It would be like me saying, Mark, even though you're not a historian, do you know who King Arthur is?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, but imagine you just didn't know any of the stories.
Yeah.
You just kind of like, I've heard of him.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, I've heard his name. Now you're beginning to understand. Not only do we look after ourselves, we look after the Fey. And sometimes we have to manage them.
Keep them in line so the rest of us don't get hurt.
Yes. So to answer your first question, where are your companions? I wanted to see how they fared. I wanted to see how they fared against an Unseelie who was going crazy. I wanted to see how they fared against a supposed neutral element.
And I take it, given that you've said you're impressed, they've succeeded in some way, shape, or form?
Yes, I've been informed that they've taken care of an Unseelie necromancer. I've also been informed that a young norn, a creature of great foresight, a creature that can weave fate, is coming here, to Foundry. The creature I sent your friends to go and fetch.
Whew, well, that's some good news.
Yes. Your test is nearly complete, Dugganschmirf. You have proven that you can manage Unseelie. You have proven that you can manage the unaligned. And now you must prove that you can manage the Seelie.
So, okay.
He
Who
smiles.
needs managing?
Oh, these ones are most troubled. Your friends and you should be able to handle this. There's a faction of Fey that has been getting too big for their britches, so to speak. And we need something done. You see, we cannot abide by the old alliances, no. And we cannot let the politics of another place infect the politics of here. Were we to divide amongst the Fey courts again, Seelie and Unseelie, were we to fall to the predations of the lords and princes and queens of the seasons, we would be again at war with not only each other, but the Imperium.
Aye, divided and conquered. That's again.
These Seelie, unfortunately, have never got the message. Ah.
So you need that message sent then?
Actually, it's more, I want to know what has given them such, how do the humans say it, balls to not pay proper tribute. It is a common problem amongst the Seelie. These particular Fey, they live about a week outside of Foundry. They have a special garden where they grow a plethora of special plants. We've received intelligence that one of these plants, a flower, is very special indeed. And it sounds like they're growing a whole garden of them. We suspect the nature of the plant is that it has a connection to the Fey Realm itself. Likely part of some devious ploy by the Princess of Spring at the behest of her mother, Queen of the Spring Court. We'd like you to go to the sunken garden of green leaves to find out which flower is special and to procure us a living specimen.
Burn the rest?
Leave the rest. We don't quite know what it is yet. We'll take proper steps after we learn more.
As you wish.
We'd like you to do this somewhat discreetly, or at least have any damage blamed on the biggins, and not us Fey, and certainly not me.
Oh, perish the thought. Aye, we can have it blamed on Biggins for sure. He's thinking to sod.
If you're caught, say something like this. Vengeance upon the Spring Court in the name of the Cold Riders of the Fastness. Or something along those lines. He opens up his drawer and he pulls out this wand that is so cold that it looks like it's got almost like a frost coming off of it and a mist. This will deflect blame to their traditional enemies. He holds up the wand.
You'll take it?
Okay. Drop it or something.
Sure.
He just dropped a bunch of names that you are confused about.
The fuck is a biggin?
It's a non-Fey of medium size or larger.
Yeah, big ones. Yeah. It's the spring. It's the Princess of Spring and the Mother of the Spring Court, and who the fuck are the Cold Riders of the Fastness? Do me proud, Duggan. Do me proud.
Yeah, no problem.
He flips a page and he looks down. Oh, like he's almost like reading a report or something like that. I would bring some backup. They have an int.
Knowledge. Nope, don't got that.
One more thing. You may want to convince Dee Dee to stay behind on this one. Perhaps she can escort the Norn to get her settled in the old stacks.
Sure, we can do that.
And anyone else that you think would balk at potentially facing the Seelie. We wouldn't want Dee Dee joining the Spring Court, after all.
Oh, she would. Oh, fuck, she might. Yeah, alright, I know who's staying behind to watch the mind the mill.
Very well. It's come to my attention that you have the ability to make contact with them. You should probably meet them over by the crossroads, about 2 days outside of town. You'll be heading northwest from there. He kind of slides a piece of paper across the desk. Up one of the invisible fairies picks it up, it disappears, and then it reappears, kind of floating down in front of you. Here's a rough sketch of the terrain.
Takes it and looks at it really quick.
He just waves like you could keep it.
Alright, takes it. Alright, I'll head out now. And he turns around and heads out.
Okay, you heard one of the Fey hasn't spoken yet whisper to Nighthorn. You can give me another perception check.
Sorry.
That fucker's dead!
I like Nighthorn. Nighthorn's creepy.
I like Mark's reaction, or Duggan's reaction of, you came from the same family as him? Look at you. Hit every branch down the only tree.
Sorry, but what did that pixie say?
Yeah, I don't know. You perception check. He's got it. At least 2, maybe 3 pixies that are whispering to him. I also want a will save.
Not my strongest stat, which I know is a good.
Also bodes well for your perception.
It's a good quality for a minion. Low will save. I got an 8.
Okay. What did Duggan think about this mission?
He, he'd rather not do it, but what he minds most is probably the travel, and he's got no issue with sending a bunch of Seelie packing.
Okay. What did he think about the Briars?
He thinks he thinks positively about the Briars. Like in his view, they actually do protect. Their presence does protect Fey.
Yep.
If it wasn't for the Briars, there would be no reservation, and we'd probably have been murdered by the Syndicate.
I imagine you were just confused about some of the noun names that were dropped.
Yeah, he doesn't know who any of them are, but he did remember Spring Court and Cold Riders. Drop the wand.
And then, what about Dee Dee? When he asked you to leave Dee Dee and any of the goodlies behind?
What was he thinking?
Yep.
He was thinking they are good for some things, but some things, yeah, they got to be left out of.
Okay, and who did he lump in with Dee Dee, if any?
Amadeus. He's not sure about Sunny yet. He's really the only one he's concerned with. Yeah, the rest he's pretty sure he could basically, without too much difficulty, convince them for the right amount of money we'll for anybody.
Okay, all right. Duggan, you and then the perception check.
No. 26.
You heard one of the pixies whispering to Nighthorn, "He didn't ask for a reward."
Ask when we're done. That's why.
Okay. Nighthorn goes back to maybe pretending he's busy, or just he's like not looking directly at you and looking at his papers.
Okay.
The door, you could hear spell casting, and the door opens. It's handy having pixies.
Yeah, he walks out and he closes the door with his telekinesis.
There might have been some muttering. Like, which one of you did that? All right, Duggan. There's a sending stone that's burning a hole in your pocket. A DM point was spent to have Duggan send the party a sending. 25 words. Go ahead and... Now, you know from the intelligence that Nighthorn had that they are traveling back to the city. They left with a wagon and some horses. And the young Norn is coming with them.
All right. Let's see. Meet you at crossing. 25 goes pretty quick. Meet you at crossing. New job. Two more weeks out. Needs. Question.
Yeah, I guess if they're like 5 days out, it'll be taking them 3 days to get the crossing and 2 days for you to get to the crossroads.
And they weren't expecting to have to go back out again, so I'm gonna have to bring some supplies somehow.
Okay, so the first day is you communicating around needs, basically about what you need, and then there will be the sending on the second day, and the third day, fourth day, fifth day. are you going to tell them to come back to the city, or the whole group of them to wait at the crossroads?
He's going to tell the whole group to wait at the crossroads. He's planning on meeting them there, being there before they get there.
Got it. So you're not going to try to communicate, like split the party via sending? No. You're going to do that in person? No. Okay. All right. Given that the zombies had eaten pretty much like all wildlife in the area, there'd been like CR10 zombies wandering around or whatever the fuck. I'm gonna reduce the chance for a random encounter to 10% for the entire travel back to the crossroads.
We know they like bear.
There are only squirrels left.
Yep. And then I guess what is your response to Duggan about what the party needs?
This is going to Cog, has the other half of this?
Cog, yep. Surprisingly, they don't say food, because the Norn the Norn basically
preserves in a garden.
Yep.
Did we run out of anything? We I guess we need some way to deposit a Fey. Would be the we need somebody to give the Fey to.
Yep.
The spell casty Fey that has actually a scroll of erase. That's what we need. A scroll of erase.
Can you learn erase, or do you have to cast it from the scroll? Is it first, or?
Erase is a second circle spell, first circle spell.
Give me a spellcraft as well. This is
It's a first circle spell. First circle wizard bard spell. Who do you need a spellcraft from?
This would be Sunny. DC 17.
To identify the spell?
Nope, there's another option.
Okay. Is it to identify a spell, or is it just a general spellcraft check?
Yeah, it's to identify a spell.
15!
Okay, let me see if Dee Dee can help. You guys are talking about the tattoos. 17. With Dee Dee's help, she's like, I think there's a spell that can move tattoos around. Not that we want to keep his tattoos, but if any of his tattoos are magic. And you guys deduce that there is a spell. It's a rare spell called Transfer Tattoo that would allow you to move a tattoo from one creature to another.
Would you like his tattoo of the 1001 Fey Gods?
No, but I've been staring at these two horse butts all day long. And I think it would be funny if Unseelie holy symbols are on their butts.
All right. Or transfer tattoo. We'll add or transfer tattoo to the list. It's erase or transfer tattoo.
Yep.
Whichever. They're both sorcerer, wizard, or bard. So.
Okay. A first level scroll is like 50 gold. Let me check.
It should be 25 gold.
Right,
50 would be a potion.
Yep. So 25 gold. I think there's a 70% chance they're available at some of the shops. There are two shops that might have this, Mark. The first one being Grandamir's, the second one being the Fairy area.
Okay, looks like Grandamir's got it.
Okay, that was for the erase. And then I'm going to say because it's a non-standard spell, it's like 35% chance. You are able to find both spells.
Okay, so that's
50 gold. Yep.
Right. I will pay for that out of my...
Granamir wants to sell you he calls it he says it's lizard hide that would hold any tattoos.
How much for the lizard hide?
He wants to sell the lizard hide, which is a weird patch of of chest scales from a small lizard.
Right, lizard.
Appraise?
Knowledge nature?
No, I was going to appraise it, but I don't have knowledge nature.
Okay, appraise at a slightly higher.
25.
This is kobold scale. It is cured kobold scale.
You know.
He's saying that you can transfer the magic tattoo to, like, some other creature's skin, a sentient creature's skin. He's only charging you, we'll say, 20 gold for it.
How about you charge me 5? I won't tell anyone you got a kobold's chest here in your store.
Give me an intimidate check.
He is larger than me, so...
That he is.
13.
By the time you said anything, it would already be gone. And then you would owe me money.
I wouldn't owe you money. You'd just be out 5 gold pieces.
Don't make me call upon my family. There are many worse. There are many worse things than me in this world.
Alright, that I know. Anyway, I'm figuring I'll just transfer the tattoos to myself if I want them. And really, can't tattoo a pig?
Pigs are messy.
Messy! They make bacon! The greatest animals ever.
I'll remember that you like piggy wiggies.
I like bacon, I like ham, I like the chops. They're truly magical creatures.
Granomir writes down a piece of paper, piggy. A little scrap of paper.
Duggan makes a mental note, someday I'm stealing his list.
No, he doesn't back down with a 13 from the 20 gold.
Nope.
And if you try to get him in trouble, he says he'll make it disappear before he, you know.
You can keep your kobold slayings.
He grins, the really false grin, twitching face and all.
Oh, why do you even bother? Alright, I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Neighbor.
1 in 20 chance you get in trouble with the weirdly packed store.
Oh no. He's got his telekinesis ready.
that's why I give you a d20 roll. Okay, he's got things on every shelf precariously had, and like Gossamer like almost.
Next time someone's talking to him and he's in the store, he's just gonna be like pushing things back,
facing the store for him. Okay, yeah, you get out. You were able to find your scrolls, and is Dugganschmirf heading into the wilderness alone?
No, he is. He needs to. They didn't ask for food, but he's thinking, what the hell are you gonna eat? So he's gonna get 2 weeks worth of food.
Okay, how are you carrying 2 weeks worth of food?
He is hiring a teamster.
Okay. So
That's what rich people do.
Some dude in a donkey.
In a wagon, because that's 2 weeks of food for how many people?
Yep, you can hire a wagon, dude with a wagon. Yeah. It's a much smaller wagon, we're gonna say.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pulled by a donkey, or a couple donkeys.
Yep. And you'll pay the guy for his time to go out to the crossing and wait with him.
A couple donkeys.
How much will that run me?
Oh, probably a silver a day for the dude, and then a couple silver a day for the donkey and the cart?
We'll just give him. Give him.
Does Duggan care who he gets?
He's not too particular as long as they don't smell. He's gonna give 3 gold. The rest is a tip. For discretion.
As long as they don't smell.
Too bad, given we live in a city. As long as they don't smell like Kev.
Where did you hire him?
You'll hire him from the neighborhood.
Okay. Let's see. 1 is human, 2 is demi-human, 3 is Fey, 4 is other. 1 is human.
Okay. Let's go, bud.
Alright. I need a name for your porter.
Elmer.
Elmer. Okay. Elmer's just getting his start out. He talks. He's like a younger lad. He saved up his money, and he tells you that he used to do deliveries on foot. And he saved up enough money for a cart and a couple of donkeys, and eventually he'll have enough to apply to the Smiling Manticore Mercenary Company when he has a good suit of armor and a sword.
Oh, you sure you want to do that?
It's gonna suck.
What's that?
You don't want to join them, they suck.
Last I heard, they got their asses whooped.
You got to get your start somewhere. The Smiling Manticores all over the place. They're like the mercantile arm of a great mercenary company. They fight wars all over Volcanica. They fight the Snake Man, and they throw down the horrible temples of the Hobbs, and make sure that the goods flow for the Imperium.
That's one way of doing it, I suppose.
Well, it is. I get to see a lot of the world, make a little bit of coin doing it. I don't mind the solace of the road and a good tavern at the end of it.
Mercenary company. Travel the world, meet interesting people, then kill them.
I'd rather trade with them. They got all sorts of stuff that they don't think is valuable.
You're going to be a mercenary, lad.
Well,
So you're selling.
Well, the Smiling Manticore make sure that things run on time and that everything arrives safely.
You know how
with
they
a
do
smile
that?
on their face and a spike on their tail.
And a boot on the throat of the little man.
Well, they don't oppress anyone.
Oh, really?
When's the last time that the Smiling Manticore has come and oppressed you?
Oh, let me think. Sense motive. All of a sudden he's like, who did I hire?
Elmer.
Thursday. Thursday's last time they impressed us.
Where's my sense? That's only 6. I gotta bring that up. 9. Okay.
Okay, this kid seems to have his plan, and he's out in the world making his plan happen. There's nothing nefarious about Elmer. He's hardworking. There's an old, clanky, heavy crossbow that's loaded in the back, just in case they run into bandits.
Lad, you want to make some money?
I am.
No, I mean some.
You aren't gonna give me face silver, are you? He laughs nervously.
That's racist. That's your fucking tip right there.
He shakes his head. He laughs it off a bit nervously, but then there's a long silence afterwards. Let's see if there are any bandits waiting for you guys. Oh. You guys get to the crossroads first.
Okay.
All right, so you guys get to the crossroads. Let me just look at my...
I'm certain this is the right way to go. No, Sonny, that's not the right way to go. Oh, I'm fairly certain we're supposed to take a right here.
Sonny, you can't just keep following the sun.
You're like driving into the wilderness because it's calling the druid. Stay on the road.
Suppose I got him over here.
Let's have a look at random encounters and see if this is appropriate. You are only a couple days outside the city. They do patrol. What are we going to do? We're going to do plains random, cities random. Give me a second.
Undead cloud giant. Oh my god. They're native to these regions.
Good luck with that.
Jesus. Wow.
Dire wolves.
All right. Give me a perception check. I'm going to roll for your guide. Get 14.
$24.
All right, as you guys are kind of riding along, there's an embankment. It's grassy, and what you realize is that sunning themselves in the grass is not one, not two, but 4 monitor lizards. These things are medium-sized. They might be babies that grow into the big things. They do not have saddles on. They do not have any sign of domestication, and they are hissing at your meat wagon that is rolling by. 14, they were sunning themselves. They were in a bit of undergrowth, but they were not hiding. With distance, the DC was 12. Ah! Okay, Duggan, you're the first to act. Baby lizards the size of men. They're man-sized monitor lizards.
Just keep the cart going all this time.
Ah! Yeah! Yeah! he's making the donkeys run.
That's it. That is settled. We'll not hear that.
Duggan, what are you doing?
He's going to fly over to the lizards.
Okay.
Bring your own lizard chest pieces.
Let me find a lizard token. These are... It looks like you got the drop on them. Like they're starting to perk up as you're rolling by. You might be able to just run right by them.
Okay, well, he's going to make sure we can run by.
Okay, they're about 30. They're about 20 to 30 feet back from the road. The ones that are close.
Know how fast these creatures are. So, like, it's one thing to say, yeah, we got by them, but oh, they move at fucking 50. Oh shit.
They eat your donkeys.
Yes, exactly.
Then Elmer gets to become strong like Conan by pushing a cart.
All right, the ones that are closer are 20 feet away. The ones that are further up are 30 feet away, and Elmer is just making the donkey cart go riding right by. You had flew up, and you got these lizards hissing at the donkey cart, and look like they're going to start scrambling forward on their big clawed legs.
Okay, Duggan's going to take a shot at.
Can you throw one lizard at the lizard yet? When can you start throwing dead bodies?
Dead bodies, next level.
Nice.
Yeah! The cart's rattling down the road. The donkeys are going nuts.
I get a utility power that lets me increase my telekinesis from 5 pounds every 2 levels to 100 pounds a level. So strong. All right. 20 plus bonus to hit. Now is what?
This will be over in short order.
I'm fairly certain baby lizards get exploded very quickly.
Yep.
AC 25.
Yeah. Dugganschmirf, you're flying above them. You let loose one of your ammunition bits.
Mm-hmm.
How much damage do you do?
27.
TKO.
Okay, so you knock out a lizard by sending a bolt right through its back. Elmer, because he was able to he was able to spot the lizards, and the lizards were distracted, is ahead of the lizards. The lizards move just as fast as the donkeys, but he's going down the road running, and you're able to just basically from height throw your little bolts into the lizards, and pretty soon, if you want to, all 3 of the lizards are dead on the hillside.
Yep.
And in the road. Okay. There's no point, they can't reach you, and they weren't that excited about the cart.
Okay. I'm comfortable with that.
Could have been much worse.
Yeah, could have lost initiative and could have had your donkey jump by 4 lizards.
Yep.
I know
Yeah.
there's
You fly at what speed?
50.
50? Okay, yeah, you're able to, in some time, catch up to the cart, which is down the road, and you can see that he's hopped out of his cart. The donkeys are panting and have a nice glistening sweat on them, and he's got his crossbow pointed down the road where he was running. You fly. He sees you. Are they coming? They're like dragons! Road dragons!
Yeah, well, the road dragons are dead, so you can get back to working now.
I counted at least 3 of them.
No, there was 4. Good thing you're not my accountant.
You sure they're dead? How did you...
I got my ways. The Fey are crafty, you know.
They're not dead, are they? They're just back there, huh?
They're fucking dead.
I think I could take one of them. From far away.
Alright, you want to take a break? We'll take a break. He hops up on the seat and stretches out. Alright, you let me know when you're ready to go.
He waits for a while and then just puts his crossbow away and then eventually waters the donkeys.
Oh yeah, it's like they're dead or something.
Road dragons are dangerous.
They were just babies. You should have seen this alligator that was in the sewers.
You went into the sewers?
Yeah. Terrible place. Avoid it if you can.
Huh. He's like constantly looking back down the road.
Oh, they're not coming, lad.
He moves on. You see an encampment up ahead. And there are 2 horses, a angry metal man standing in the road keeping watch, and some sort of friendly argument going on between Sunny and, I don't know.
I'm certain we're in the right spot. I don't know. Are you sure
Yeah.
we're in the right place?
No.
This is where we're supposed to be. This is the crossroads. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to be going the other way.
Somebody's coming. No one's paying attention to Slate because he's alerted you guys. Somebody is coming at everyone who's crossed down these crossroads. It's a busy
Like,
place.
are there people that are coming, or is it not people that are coming?
2 donkeys in a cart. And Slake looks bored by that. And
Sounds like people.
the donkey cart is turning off to the side of the road and slowing down towards your camp.
Alright, we're here.
the Crossroads has a lot of campsites, like entire caravans would camp at the Crossroads, and it's one of these poorly designed road system where it's like 6 or 7 roads all converging in one spot. There's a well off to the side, and there are like these big ringed campsites, like of stones that people have made. I like ridiculous big rings, and then smaller rings where actual campfires could be lit. And somebody for some reason abandoned a few tents. Like there's an old like pavilion tent, kind of weather worn and flapping in the wind.
Hey, we're in a hurry.
Horse and animal poop everywhere. Signs of garbage from past campsites. A latrine ditch had actually been dug, and it's kind of gross.
Hey, Elmer, why don't you just water the donkey's rest for a second?
Oh, hey!
Hi.
I'm Elmer. This is my cart. Elmer's produce transport.
Oh, we got a cart full of produce too.
Any news of the road? He says.
If you see big fucking giants, run the other way.
Oh yeah, we ran into road dragons. 4 of them back there.
Road dragons.
You're gonna have to watch out for those. They're sunning themselves on a hill.
They're fucking dead, Elmer. Fuck.
He's shaking his head. He doesn't believe the tiny Fey killed the big ass road dragons.
Is road dragon normal vernacular, or is this like? Okay, road dragons.
Knowledge, local, linguistics check.
Sunny's linguistics check is really strong. It's 28.
Yeah. They. Volcanica has a lot of very large lizards, and
he's referring to a large lizard on the side of the road that doesn't have wings.
Yep.
And it's any of that subset of lizards.
Yep, road dragons. They're big ass lizards. Because people aren't very learned, they run the gamut to a really big ass lizard, a baby really big lizard, all the way up to there may even be like drakes that don't have wings. That might all be blamed on road dragons, and then anyone who dies along the road was attacked by a road dragon, right? Like that's
There's probably a gang called the Road Dragon.
Sure.
He doesn't mean actual dragons. Perhaps you're not talking about like large drakes, are you?
Yeah, there are 4 of them. They're pretty big. Gave a good scare to my donkeys here, huh? Hey,
They look like this now.
hey, are these your friends?
Aye, they're my friends.
Hi.
Hi. Do you mind if I circle the wagons, so to speak? Safety in numbers. We don't want those road dragons, getting a sniff of our campsite and come wandering in here.
Aye. Oh, Elmer, why don't you...
Mister's going to lead the wagon to the... Mister is going to start leading the wagon with the donkeys.
Holy fuck, that's one
Why
smart...
don't you
That's...
take food from the cart, put it in our wagon. Do we have anything you want to send back to the steel mill?
Hey, Duggan. I want to introduce you to someone. This is Aurelia. She's really smart, and she can tell fortunes. And we're gonna find her a nice place to set up shop, in the old stacks. And you shouldn't mess with her because she's really strong.
Well, okay. It's very nice to meet you, lass.
Aurelia just seems to be staring out into the wilderness. She's not really paying attention to Duggan.
It's nice to meet you, Aurelia. Hey, Dee Dee, why don't you take charge of finding her a nice place to stay?
Okay. I thought you guys were going out into the wilderness. It's fun out here. Well, it's not fun, but we're doing good.
Yeah, well, it would be good to help her get settled in Old Stack. She doesn't know anyone,
Okay.
And why don't you take, Amadeus there with you for protection.
Oh, we also got this little atomie guy. He's a necromancer. We're gonna try to get him to be redeemed. His name is Bennigan, although he likes to be called Lotral the Almighty, Lotral the Invincible. What was it?
I think he was saying all powerful, but you know,
something like that. But he's
almighty power. That sock there.
he's reformed. If you give the scrolls to Sunny, Sunny will remove his holy symbols from his flesh, and we're gonna put them on the butts of. Oh, there's donkeys. Oh!
She starts laughing.
Sure, whatever you like. Here's your scroll, Sonny.
Ooh. Yes. Sonny's going to start scribbling them. Like he's going to take the next 2 hours to learn both spells.
Yeah, you guys spend a night at the crossroads, and you can pen those 2 spells, assuming you can take 10 DC. 16 or 17, whatever it is. So I think it's 16.
Yes. So one is erase, which is the more utilitarian spell, and the other one is transfer tattoo.
Oh, there's certain a lot of you.
Take off some ink.
Yeah, Elmer just sits down at the fire. He's making small talk with Kev. Little does he know that Kev's a dangerous doppelganger.
The biggest monster of us all.
Yep. Mistress sends to, like, once you untie the horses and the donkeys and that sort of thing, she spends time, like, herding them and making sure they're not wandering off. Very peculiar cow.
Yeah, so, hey, what should we do with Lotral?
Why don't you bring him to Mr. Nighthorn, and maybe he knows of someone who can have a word with our little friend.
Okay.
Because if we give him to the humans, you know what they're gonna do with him, right?
Yeah, he did bad things, but he's making up for it. He really likes peas and carrots.
Well, who doesn't?
Yeah, Amadeus mashes them for him.
He chuckles a bit, picturing how that goes down.
Kind of like Baby Bird.
Yeah, but he's really dangerous. He can like make big zombies. Like these zombies were like 2 horses tall.
Really?
Like 20 feet tall.
No, keep him.
And they're really big zombies.
Yeah.
Keep him bound up there, then.
Yeah. Wait, what? So I'm gonna go back. Amadeus gonna have to come with me because he's looking after Lotral. We're not letting everyone else look after Lotral because I think Slake will kill him.
Do you think he's wrong?
I think if he says sorry enough, he could turn his powers to a better cause.
Well, let's hope so.
He's a renegade. He admitted it. He wants to tear down the Imperium. He's stupid.
Oh, shocking behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Still, there's some change. You got to admit, you get frustrated with the humans, don't you?
So will Nighthorn help me make sure that he repents?
I'm sure Nighthorn will have a how can we put this? Period of atonement he'll have to go through to make up for his crimes. I think we can trust him to handle it.
Okay, is that a lie?
Yes. Well, we can trust him to handle it isn't a lie.
Okay, Dee Dee sense motive is 8.
If your sense motive and your bluff is that bad, we need to get you a circlet or something.
20.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, we'll bring him to Nighthorn. Although Aurelia's gonna set up shop. She's got stuff to do.
She does?
Well, yeah, tell everyone's fortunes.
You don't say.
Uh-huh.
The humans do love that shit, don't they?
Yeah, but she does it for real.
Come on.
No. She sent a bunch of fortunes for everyone. The only one I didn't quite hear was Amadeus's.
I hand you the rod, Adam.
Hey, look, a 17mm wrench.
What was the conversation between Ophelia and Amadeus?
All right. Amadeus, this woman that you saw, she was large. She did went into her hut, and she has been calling in people one by one. She has yet to speak with Sunny, and was it this before or after Desaad? I think it was Desaad was before. I might have been Amadeus last. That's fine. Doesn't really matter. Everyone's come out. The warriors have come out. Like Slake was somewhat frustrated. Others have come out with senses of relief or what have you. Capra came out from the hut very dour and less than thrilled.
Oh, okay.
I think it's your turn. You want to, drink your tea. Have a biscuit.
At least I got fed, I suppose. Here, Amadeus goes in, kind of slowly.
Okay. She is sitting in a small, modest hut. There's a table in front of her. There's a tea set. There's a variety of different teacups and a variety of different teas. There is a hearth going that does have a pot of boiling water on it, as well as evidence of honey, sugar, and what looks like chili peppers on the table.
Kind of animal puts chili peppers in their tea. That's ridiculous.
Certain dragons like their tea spicy.
Oh.
Your flesh is twisted more than what the others can see, it appears.
Yes.
Is anything about your appearance being concealed through transmutation or magic of any kind?
No.
Okay.
He is so deformed that he would have to have armor specially made for him.
Ah, okay. He's not a humanoid. He's
He is like grossly deformed. Like,
why do you travel with these companions?
we look after each other.
You do not kill, not in the same way.
I would if it were necessary. Just rarely is. There's other ways.
The term necessary is contextual. Depends on circumstance. Depends on fate.
Depends on opinion too, depending on who you speak to. Thinking of like right now.
There are those amongst you who are bloodthirsty.
Yes.
Your existence is painful for many, including yourself, none the least.
I consider it an atonement.
Where do you come from?
I come from money. My parents were wealthy. I had everything I could have asked for. And I was taken when this was done to me. and the veil was ripped from my eyes.
Who did this to you?
I don't know. Enemies of my father, I believe.
To whom do you blame?
The blame, I suppose, lies with the enemies of my father. They were the ones who decided to do this. The doctor who injected me with those things.
What will you do when they break your vow? You notice she didn't say if they break your vow, it is when they break your vow.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I suppose that would make them the murderers, then.
What is the question with which you seek answers?
What am I supposed to do now? Unlike Slake, I don't seek vengeance for what was done to me. I know where my family is.
How do you take your tea?
A plate.
She pushes the chili peppers further away on the table.
Oh, plain these days.
Sorry, I missed that. It was...
Plain these days.
Okay, she begins pouring a pot of tea.
Give me a chai latte, cause
A pumpkin spice latte.
Blasphemy.
Nobody asked for milk.
It's summer. Yeah, we didn't ask for milk. Pumpkin spice is an autumn spice.
Yeah.
Pumpkin spice is terrible. I don't know. I don't like the smell. I drank a bottle of vodka with that flavor. It didn't go well.
We were there for that one.
Pumpkin spice is your overlord.
I had one Adam, that's what that was.
It was one bad time. One bad time, baby. Alright, so she boils a pot of tea. She serves you a cup. She serves one to herself. She drinks. She breathes deeply. Those who sought to hurt your father, they will not stop. They are not done. Your family hang in the balance. What you must do, I cannot see. But doing nothing is a choice in and of itself.
I understand that. I figured as much, to be honest.
Sometimes the answers that people seek are clear. Other times they are obvious. In most cases, the fates do reveal themselves first to those with which they belong, if they're willing to see.
Well, being turned into a freak is nothing if not... has done nothing if not allowed me time for a alone, private introspection. Perhaps it will come to me.
Perhaps it will. But I doubt your family will bode well if you stay alone.
I can't see it boding well if I return either.
Dark times ahead. comes behind. Do you have any siblings?
Brother and a sister.
I miss my sisters.
Do you know where they are?
In a sense.
But you cannot reach.
No, not yet.
My sympathies.
Oh, the fates will let me see them once again, of that I am sure. Proper steps just need to be taken. This life or the next.
Well, my thoughts will be with you. Though, as I understand it, we'll be traveling together. Oh no, wait, shit. Oh, I can see the future!
You presume too much. The threats that come, it is not simply the doctor with his needle that you must fear. He stole something, gave it to you. Who he stole it from will come for it.
I don't have anything. Literally escaped with nothing.
Oh, you have something. Something in your blood.
They are welcome to come and try and take it.
As I said before, they will not come through you first.
Everyone believes me dead. Who would come looking for me?
Those who can smell fate. Those from somewhere beyond.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Mark, what have you done?
What? I'm doing
this was all you. Look at the character you made.
Look at the list of templates. Sometimes I don't understand what I see. I merely try to interpret. It could be wrong. She gives a little shrug and stirs her tea.
He swigs his tea down quickly. Well, I thank you for your time. Maybe Amadeus is getting a visit from his Aunt Kathy Lou.
Oh, he was some sort of experiment, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I don't like how that was worded, Mark.
Neither do I, quite frankly. Note to self, always keep a DM point
ready. Is it Aunt Kathy Lou or is it Uncle Kathy
Uncle
Lou?
Kathy Lou. I don't know, it's hard to say.
Okay, so Amadeus has been noticeably bothered for the trip. Like, he's been kind of quiet. He's busied himself with tending to Lotral, but he's been really quiet. Like, he was, not that he's a chatty Cathy.
Kathy Lou.
But he does like have conversations with Kev and interacts with Agony and, you know, talks to Cog and avoids Slake and, you know, and like helps Sunny, and him and Capra, I guess, you know, like there's the two of you are kind of on the same side. Like, he would keep the streets clean and you'd keep the streets clean, kind of thing. So, oh no, but he's been noticeably quiet.
You get your vermin, I'll get mine.
Yep, and he's been avoiding probably Aurelia. Mark?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Duggan's trying to feed Dee Dee a lie about how Lotral will be all okay by handing over to Nighthorn, and that she should go back to town to settle the young Norn. Has anyone been listening to that conversation? Slake hasn't. He doesn't fucking care.
Capra cares.
Okay. Yeah, it's all been in Sylvan too, so.
Yeah. Sonny kind of listens to things, but he doesn't really care about things.
Yep. Yep.
Everything's just something that happened.
Agony's been listening to the Fey conversations, kind of like the scene from 13th Warrior, where he's learning the language by listening to them talk.
23 on the sense motive.
Yeah, I think it was 20 was the
20,
bluff.
yeah.
So there's Dugganschmirf's got something up his sleeve.
Also, Capra knows his uncle.
Yeah, Dugganschmirf's not being fully straightforward with Dee Dee. There's nothing immediately nefarious, but he's just saying what Dee Dee maybe wants to hear.
Yeah. Hey, Dee Dee,
Yeah?
why don't we, which one do you want to put the tattoos on?
I want to put on our horses. I thought about the donkeys, but I wouldn't want to curse that nice man over there who's talking to Kev.
I'm pretty certain if we meet any Unseelies, they're going to be less than pleased-lees.
I'm just gonna grab a pop.
Okay, so yeah, put some on lefty and some on righty over here.
Is it time for magic?
It's time for magic. Okay, Lotral. Finnegan.
But the only being that Sonny can pick up and carry around, he picks up Lotral.
Yep. Amadeus is holding him down. By this point, you guys have already done we hold him down, we undress his armor while holding him down, and then put his, you know, basically he's butt naked.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy check from Dee Dee.
Why?
Because this is his last opportunity to be a dick if he's trying to escape by being a dick.
Oh, have you handed the thing back, or are you still in charge?
I'm sorry. The DM stick is back.
Yeah, okay.
It's up to you to decide whether or not he's a dick. He can channel whenever his mouth is ungagged. So he doesn't until the tattoos are gone. He can just channel.
Mark, will he suicide channel or not?
The Trell?
Yep.
No, I don't think he's gonna suicide channel.
Okay.
I think he's gonna wait for an opportunity to
Try again.
Yep, and this is
GTFO.
not it. His eyes are wide. Unfortunately, Amadeus is keeping some rope wrapped around his some bloodvine rope wrapped around his
just packing mush into his mouth. with
yeah
a big
around his
bitty
mouth.
finger.
Want to subtract one of the bloodvine ropes if you're going to send him off. Well, don't do that yet. Depends if
Well, he's
Amadeus.
going with him, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. Sunny then begins to cast.
Transfer. We'll do the transfer tattoo.
This is the next morning.
This is the next morning, and I would like to transfer it in 2 parts. Additionally, I will have prepped 3 of them. So if we get into a fight today, it's going to be I'll prep 2, and then I have a stone and a mage bond.
Okay. He's got 3 sigils, like his 3 gods: the see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. He's got 3 major tattoos that constitute quasi-magical tattoos, holy symbols. They were magically placed upon him. The spell will work.
Okay, he gets to make fort saves against this.
You're casting it 3 times?
I will cast it 3 times.
What's the DC?
The DC would be 16.
And he was a
He's a cleric.
6th level cleric?
6th level cleric.
That's a good save for them.
I'm just gonna check Atomie's
Base.
con.
Yeah, that 15's a problem.
Yeah, that's...
Atomies have a whopping +1 4th save, plus whatever his 6th level cleric gives them. It should be, I think, 4. 5. So he's got 6, 7. Yeah, he... DM point to say the tattoos appear on Dewdrop's Lake and Duggan.
We are using magic to change holy symbols around. I think like this is a. Let's just see what the. I think it's a transmutation effect.
I will accept the DM point to have them appear on Agony, if you guys want.
Yeah, Agony's got the curse. Agony has the Unseelie curse.
Yep.
What is that?
He went and broke the Agony's Agony's statue. He broke the desecration statue.
Oh, no.
We'll see that, and that will supersede the fourth save. So you are able to move them off onto the horse, but for some reason, the tattoos, when you shift them onto the horse's butt and kind of position them onto the horse's butt, they kind of sink into the horse. And Agony, it was like leaning over the campfire and kind of poking at the campfire and like drinking some soup from a pot, and then he falls over. And you can see burning into his chest are the 3 symbols, sitting atop of each other like in the same totem pole like fashion. Ugh! What the?
Huh.
What did you do to me? He gets up.
Hey.
He basically he dropped the pot and all the soup kind of got dumped out, and he's marching over to.
You're getting more concerned with the soup.
What is this?
That appears to be a quasi-magical tattoo.
Low trial's giggling.
Hey, did you do that?
Gets a flick in the head with from Amadeus.
Without his holy symbols, with sort of like peak feathers, he should be able to. He shouldn't be able to harm us now.
Very well. But I think he knows what will happen if something goes wrong.
What
He just pulls the rope from his mouth.
did you do to my scales?
I put the spells onto the horse's buttock, as per Dee Dee's request, and they seem to have melted through his buttock and onto you.
You aim that spell at a horse's ass. Oh, I have so many jokes right now that I'm going to keep for later.
He's a druid, so...
Agony's now trying to scratch at it, and he realizes that scratching, like the tattoos run deep.
They might be cursed tattoos. Give me a moment. He'll attempt his arcane bond to attempt to erase them. Just
Use the erase spell. Okay.
Just use the erase spell. Make them gone. So the for this one, I do so if it's non-magical, it's automatically erased. I believe under the tattoo stuff, there's a fort save involved.
You must succeed a caster level check DC 1d20 plus caster level against DC 15. Natural one always fails.
I get. Give me a second. Does the bonus on counterspell checks apply to this?
Yes.
Okay, so that is a 15.
Okay. You make the marks disappear. Agony scratches a little bit, and he thinks his problems have gone away.
Where did he scratch?
He scratched at his chest where it was, but
okay.
The three sigils disappear, and as you erase them with your spell.
There we go.
Dee Dee, yep. Be more careful with your magic, druid. Goes over to where the spilled soup was and...
Well, the Fey gods are tricky, and sometimes they don't like it when people damage their holy iconography.
Yep. All right. So that morning, you don't have a bunch of
once Agony's out of sight.
Yep.
Like Sunny has like a big stupid grin on his face. He thinks that shit's amazing. Hey, it didn't work. Hey, it went over there. It's fucking cool.
All right, Duggan. People are looking to you like, why are we out here at the crossroads? They've all prepared their spells that morning. Sunny wasted a bunch of spells on moving tattoos around and erasing them.
Alright, it's more of a need to know kind of thing, so, you lot, why don't you start heading back to town? I'll start explaining things to you on the way.
Okay. Who's coming back with me?
Amadeus is coming back with you, with Latrell, and, Aurelia.
Okay. Well, okay.
Oh, it's not personal, it's just you're the nicest one.
Okay. I got some wands for you guys. You're gonna need these, maybe? I hope not. Don't use them too much. Sunny. Here's a wand.
I found the scroll in my backpack.
Oh yeah, I put that days ago. You should.
It had a happy face on it.
Okay, she's gonna hand Sunny a wand of make whole.
This is for the boopers.
Wand to make whole.
It's already on your sheet at the bottom.
Oh, okay, cool.
And he'll put the wand of lesser restoration and cure light wounds also on Sunny's.
And this is for the non-boopers. I guess for the boopers in the second one, but you know what I mean.
Different kind of boopers.
Yep. I want these back, kinda.
Alright.
What else? Here, Capra. Here's 20 arrows.
Yeah, I think I went through quite a few with them shadowy guys. I didn't get a chance to catch my spirit.
And... oh, Duggan! Lotral stuff you could probably wear.
Oh, what's he got?
Plus one tiny mithril chain shirt.
I think we already put it at the bottom of your sheet, Mark. There's a bunch of treasure that Duggan's got.
Oh.
Could be all
Oh,
faded
yeah.
if you want.
Diminutive plus one mithril train shirt and a choker of the grandiose 3 times per day ventriloquism. It must be a booming voice. And then you also got the necklace of fireballs, which we ruled cannot be used as part of your telekinetic thrust. You can't. You have to activate the magic by throwing it, and
Yeah.
yeah. We tried. I was like, oh, that would be also awesome, but no, it doesn't. The words don't match.
Come together.
Come together.
Okay, yeah. So Duggan's got some gear. They kind of give over some Duggan's gear, and which wagon are they taking back?
They're taking Elmer. They're going back with Elmer.
Elmer clears his throat and standing by his wagon expectantly. He's looking at Duggan.
Well, oh yeah, here you go. I give him 3 gold.
Ah, there we go. Yes. I suppose I'll caught people instead of produce. Don't mind the mess back there.
Well, you're heading back to town anyway. I'm just saying.
Are you taking the lady with you?
Yep. Oh, you're gonna sit in the back? All right.
I'm assuming she carries her own chest, but yeah.
Yeah, she hunks her chest down in the back. Amadeus? Oh, hi there.
Hi.
Hi. What you got there? He's asking Amadeus.
It's a prisoner.
Oh, okay. Normally it's 1 silver.
It's 3 gold. It's more than you're making a week. Just fucking go.
Okay, but there is a gate tax sometimes, and you'll have to pay your own way in.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Have fun, everyone.
Bye bye. I know what the fuck are we doing, Duggan?
Alright, so there is some Fey that are not paying tribute like they should be to the Briars. And they got these flowers. Our job is to go get one of these flowers, because they may connect, in my mind at least, to another realm. Like the Fey Realm.
That would be interesting.
Yes, I imagine it'll be quite interesting. And ideally, we don't get caught doing it. But if we do, we're gonna blame the biggins. And he's looking at Slake and Agony like, you guys.
Is this why you sent Dee Dee back?
I don't want to make her cry.
Wait. Hey, we're not supposed to blame our biggins. We're supposed to blame somebody else's biggins, right?
Any biggins will do.
Yeah, but our biggins come back to us, so we probably don't want to blame our biggins.
Fine. What you do is you say, down with the spring court, long live the Cold Riders.
Knowledge? What the hell's a cold rider?
Yeah, knowledge, history or knowledge planes?
Yeah.
Sweet. Sonny doesn't care about history. History is something that he missed.
Nature, maybe?
Planes?
Sure.
20. 20 on the planes. 20.
20 in the planes? Who's rolling
Sonny.
that? Sunny.
I'll roll Capra's knowledge gains as well, but the chances of it being better is low. 13.
Yeah, people who like it cold.
A cold rider for the 13 is a type of Fey.
Ooh.
They are Unseelie. You
Why
don't know
would
much
we be-
about them. Vague idea that there's a realm out there that is might be somehow connected to the prime material. And something about the seasons are very strong in this Fey realm. It is a realm divided by season, is just all that you remember.
The winter and the summer in my brain makes sense, but Sunny is trying to envision would spring just be like endless downpour, and then fall be like drought, maybe? He's trying to imagine what the extreme. That might be the Fey realm. He doesn't even. He's not even communicating the other half. Like, there's no possible way of keeping up the conversation. He's not. So, we're pretending to be Fey to collect flowers to go to another realm.
Aye.
It's easy to pretend to be Fey.
This sounds like nonsense. It's like, why are we doing this?
'Cause our bosses said so.
Who's that?
Mr. Nighthorn.
Mister now, huh? The fuck does he want a flower for?
Well, they want to see what it does.
Is it magical?
I don't fucking know, Slake.
Possibly, but I believe it is more of a... I would postulate that it's more of a focus to travel between planes, either to open up a small portal, or maybe to be used in conjunction with a shifting spell or something.
Well, that is some very interesting introspection. End of the day, though, don't fucking matter.
I'll walk back to town.
You mean you walk back to town?
It's just over there. I can see the smog from here.
They might need you.
Why? To pick some flowers? You sent the only flower picker back to town.
No, we don't want that flower picking going. We'll never see her again.
Huh?
Listen, things could go very badly. They don't want people picking their flowers. In the event that things go badly, just like, say, when we're stealing from a train, we want people to back us up.
What are we getting out of this?
We're getting goodwill.
Name recognition? But I thought we were trying to use somebody else's name. So...
We're not even getting paid for this?
It's one of those things. You see how much it's worth after you do it. It's like prospecting for gold. You don't know what you're going to get till you go out there.
He thinks for a minute at prospecting. Give me a diplomacy check as you're trying to convince Slake that he should come along.
The boon is small for not being greedy.
21.
I'm not picking any fucking flowers.
I'll do the picking. I'm just going to watch my back, that's all.
Is it really just grab some flowers? Because we could just grab some flowers.
No, it's specific flowers for fuck's sakes.
No. We'll go get the magic flowers. Or the not magic flowers. The non-magical magic flowers.
The special flowers. Let's just call them the special flowers.
Agony thinks for a minute. He scritches his chin thing and then hops into the wagon. He'll come along.
All right.
Perhaps we could purchase some of these flowers from them, says Cog, instead of trying to steal them. Wouldn't that be more preferable? Go grab some flowers. It sounds like the best adventure ever. Takes a big swig.
Hey, Kev, do you know how to look like, I don't know, a smiling manticore?
Hey, wait.
You know where them smiling manticore guys?
I could turn into Azrael, or I could turn into Killian, or I could turn into Ella the Child.
Turn into anyone but us.
Yep. Oh, you don't want me to be Kev for this one?
Yeah, you're Kev most of the time, so yeah, not Kev.
All right, I'll turn into Azrael because he's a sanctioned wizard.
All right, he goes, excellent. All right, he turns to the rest, and the rest of us are fucked. All right, here we go. Get on the horse.
Like, I don't think I'm ready to do that sort of thing.
Okay. What do you mean you're not ready?
I'm not ready to fuck.
There's no.
Haven't
Sense motive.
money yet.
You're not? Because right now it seems like you're fucking with me.
Don't worry, Azrael will lead the way.
That's the attitude right there.
Huh. Okay. All right. I guess we'll turn to praise things. Off to find some flowers and treat with the Fey.
Aye.
Will we be purchasing flowers, or will we be absconding with them?
I believe absconding is the most likely event to occur. Yeah.
And what type of Fey are these?
The disloyal kind. From what I'm told.
Unseelie, then.
Entirely possible. Okay, that's a lie. For those who are keeping track, I got a 17 on that bluff.
It gives you a frowny face. How far out are they?
About a week. You good with maps, Druid? Or do you just follow the stars and the sun?
I follow the weave.
Can the weave get to us? And he opens up the map. There.
On a good day.
Okay,
Only got two.
the group of you, Sans, Amadeus, and Dee Dee, head out into a different direction. The crisscrossing roads around Foundry. There's a lot of rough terrain out here. It's like people really like being close to the city. It turns into like rocky terrain that's been picked over and logged a long time ago. New brush and blackened exposed rocks from the smelting. I think Mark and I both can picture that quite well.
Yeah, that's not hard. Hang on. Got it. All right, there.
You guys get far out in the wilderness into like some really old logging roads and mining paths, and you've left civilization behind after about 4 or 5 days of overland travel. They have you going into an area that isn't highly populated at all. It's on the 4th night when you guys were making camp. We'll say that Slake and Cog were keeping watch. And then give me a D2 between Duggan and Sunny or Capra.
Okay, D2.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, so
Sunny.
it's Sunny?
Yep. You said Sunny or Capra.
Yep, exactly. Okay. So Duggan, Sunny, and the 2 constructs were on watch. Things were a bit uneventful up to this point in time. You saw a little bit of like wildlife. We're not talking about really dangerous wildlife, like a black bear and a couple of cubs were probably the most dangerous things you saw from afar. Raccoons, deers. You saw a family of beaver kind of damming up some small stream, and it kind of made the road all flooded. You saw signs of what Capra identified as perhaps an elk or a moose. It was at night. The campfire's light is burning a little bit low when there was a kind of like a flapping, flying sound, kind of fluttering around above you.